Do we actually change? Of course we do. Idiot, what are you talking about? Of course we change. We're different every day, right? Every day is a new us. I mean, if you think about it on a cellular level, our cells are constantly repairing and changing, therefore, they're never the same. They're constantly either eliminating or bringing new material to your bloodstream, to your organs, etc. So, no, we're always the same, or we're always changing. But, are we? Of course, I know that. Of course, I'm aware that we are always technically changing, right? We're always either ingesting new material, reading, watching, meeting new things, new people, new whatever. But what I mean is more of a personal, personality type of level. Are we actually changing? Do we actually change? Or do we merely adapt? I think those two things are very different. And I think the line between the two can sometimes be blurred. I know personally, I've thought about this a bit in my own life with the own mistakes I've making, my own mistakes that I've fallen into. That I would assume I've changed, hopefully for the better. I'm always trying to be better than I was yesterday or the day before that, right? That's the goal for me, at least, is to always be improving, trying something new, or working towards a goal. But am I actually changing, or am I just merely adapting for survival? I brought up personality earlier. Are we, I don't know, are we born with like a fixed personality that we stick to regardless and merely just adopt different things to kind of stay relevant? And I think I'm addressing ego in a sense, right? Are we born with a fixed ego that adapts because it has to, therefore, at face value, adopting different views and different viewpoints, however, never actually changing the ego? Can ego change? Would be maybe a different version of the question. As far as I know, as far as I'm aware, we can change, and we do change. Like I said, on a cellular, on a literal physical level, we're always changing. We're growing, hair gets longer, whatever. Um, but yeah, I do think people change. A long time ago, I was told people never change. People never change. I was told that. Um, that's kind of a warning to look out for specific tendencies and in bad people, quote unquote bad people. People never change. I think I disagree. I think to be human is to be constantly changing, unless you're a plus tier narcissist who believes in everything they breathe, right? They believe in everything they breathe out to the world. Unless you're like a top 100% top tier narcissist. I think we're always changing, man. Like when I put this video out, my opinion on this issue might change. Although right now I'm pretty confident in my answer. I think it's like impossible not to change, you know? But I think what that person meant by that, they didn't mean literally that we don't change. I think they merely meant that human tendency doesn't change. And even then, I would argue against that. Um, there are some people out there that they're gonna change, but they're not gonna change in the way you want to. They're not gonna give up their beliefs. They're not gonna reflect on their beliefs, and that's probably ultimately what this individual meant when they told me this. Um, but to answer the question, do we change? Um, I think of course we do. I think we have to, and those that don't, I think are still changing in their own ways, just maybe not in ways we would prefer. So that would be my response. Yeah, appreciate it.
baby.